other live classes like this, you'll know that we share everything to YouTube. So if you want to get a recording of this after the class, you could do so by going to our Lumiwealth YouTube channel, right? So basically go to youtube.com, search for Lumiwealth, and right now, live. There we go, it's going live. Right now, if you refresh this page, Alexandra, you should be able to see it. Yeah, there you go. So you see the live class right there, right? So this is us streaming live on this YouTube channel. But also keep in mind that after this class right now, once we're done with the live, it is going to turn into a recording and you'll be able to actually watch the recording of this afterwards. So make sure you go to our YouTube channel, do the typical stuff, like and subscribe. But seriously though, make sure you subscribe because this is, we get a lot of free material out there. We're actually releasing a lot of stuff. Alexandra reported a really good one very recently that we're going to be putting up soon. We're going to be doing a lot of other free materials. So if you guys are interested in some cool free content, you can get it from our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe so you get those notifications, right? Hello, Venkat. Welcome. All right, so without further ado, let me introduce Alexandra, who is a blockchain genius. She teaches our blockchain programming course. Really, really cool stuff. I'll tell you guys, I am personally in this course right now. I feel like I'm learning a lot from it. I think it's so cool, some of the stuff that you can build with smart contracts. Honestly, it's really, really, really cool stuff to do. And Alexandra is a fantastic teacher, very attentive, answers questions really quickly, and really, really on point and knows her stuff. So without further ado, let me introduce Alexandra and take it away.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Rob. Welcome, everyone. Tonight, we are getting started with blockchain programming. We're going to introduce our masterclass, blockchain programming, and talk about a few of the topics that we cover in the course. Today is going to be all about theory and talking about different terms that we're going to learn, different topics about blockchain programming in the actual course. We get hands-on into coding as well. Tonight, we're going to introduce each other who's on the call, talk about why we should learn blockchain, what are Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchains, what are smart contracts, and cryptocurrencies and NFTs. These are just a few of the topics that we're going to cover in depth in the masterclass. So it's just a taste of what is to come. And we're happy to answer questions throughout the night, so feel free to ask away in the chat. First, we'll start off by getting to know some of you on the call. So we want to know from you, what's your occupation? Do you know how to code? And how much blockchain experience do you have? We want to know this because we want to tailor our courses to you. If you have no experience coding, we want to make sure we take you from scratch all the way from a beginner to someone who understands how to code. Whereas if you already know how to code, we want to make sure we can still tailor the course to you and get you more advanced and working faster. So feel free, everyone, to type out these 3 pieces of information. I'll start. My name is Alexandra Kropova. I am a blockchain developer and instructor at Mammoth Interactive and Lumiwealth. I do know how to code. And how much blockchain experience do I have? I invested in Ethereum back in 2017 and have been building dApps ever since Ethereum was created back in 2015. All right, and Rob, would you like to go next?
Sure. So my occupation, I'm the CEO of Lumiwealth. It's my job to make sure that all you guys are getting great courses and you're very happy with what you go through and you learn some great stuff to make you lots of money. Do I know how to code? Yes, I've been coding for, I want to say, a little over 20 years now. It's been a long time. Name a programming language, I probably know how to do it. And then how much blockchain experience do you have? I'm new to blockchain programming in general, but I have been an investor in crypto for quite some time, probably since 2016, around the same time as you, I think, Alexandra. Although I took a different route, I helped build a startup called Voyager, which is a crypto broker, kind of like Coinbase. They're worth $1.5 billion, I think now, which is pretty cool to have started a company like that. But yeah, that's kind of my experience, and would love to hear more about you guys.
Awesome, thank you, Rob. Okay, we have some messages in our chat. First from Ernesto, who says none, so no experience. That's totally fine. We're tailoring the masterclass for beginners who have no experience in coding, no experience in blockchain. That's the primary demographic. Also from Jose, no coding experience. Same thing. Robert says, Robert doesn't know how to code, no experience. Okay, lots of beginners tonight. That's great. We'll make sure to tailor that for you. Also, we have a chat message from Zach. I'm a tower climber. I've done a small amount of HTML and have just explored the multiple blockchains. Okay, so a little bit of experience. This is a great place to be. We also have a chat message from Venkat. I used to do general coding, some education about blockchain, but no programming with blockchain. Again, great place to be if you have no experience, but you want to learn about blockchain and how to code. Robert says, I'm lost. Well, we are here to help. Feel free to give us more information, Robert. Stacy says, computer scientist, code for 20 years, no experience in blockchain. Awesome. I have a few students like that currently, where they have some coding experience, but they want to tailor it to blockchain specifically. So also great to have you here, Stacy. All right, feel free to drop more chat messages, everyone, throughout the night. Great to get to know you all. Next, let's introduce Lumiwealth, the company that is behind this blockchain programming and other courses. Lumiwealth is a course provider such as for blockchain programming, as well as crypto trading using algorithms, algorithmic trading, machine learning, and options trading. You can find out more at lumiwealth.com or the YouTube channel, as Rob already mentioned. Using algorithms to make investing easier and more profitable. So we at Lumiwealth have tons of courses specifically about finance and now more into the blockchain space as well. So feel free to follow us on YouTube, where we're adding tons of free content every week. We also have a Discord channel, which everyone is free to join. And you can join the Discord even if you are not part of a course. There's lots of lively discussion happening on Discord. I'll paste a link to invite you all there. You can ask questions from your fellow students or just from others who are interested in different topics like investing ideas, algorithmic strategy, crypto, and more. So everyone is free to join our community, even if you aren't part of a course just yet. Also, at the end of this webinar, we will have a survey for you to fill out if you'd like, because we love to get your feedback and hear how we can improve, what you like, what you dislike, and more about you as well, so we can tailor our content for our students and who they are. And again, feel free to ask questions throughout the evening. We're happy to answer any questions that might pop up along the way or at the end. All right, first, we're going to start off with talking about why we should learn blockchain in the first place, getting into a bit of a taste of what we're going to do in the Blockchain Programming Masterclass, the next series of which starts in March. So blockchain is a great and exciting space to be in. It's a relatively new technology compared to others. For example, the Ethereum blockchain was only built in 2015. So there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of innovation still to be done. You can build a lot of cool and cutting edge projects, but not only that, learning blockchain is a great place to be at the frontier of a new industry. And also a lot of companies are starting to incorporate blockchain into their systems, taking advantage of the benefits that using blockchain technology provides. And we'll get more into that shortly. Blockchain is changing the world across different industries. You all in the chat have probably heard of cryptocurrencies, NFTs, but the power of this technology and the programming that you can do for the blockchain goes beyond just a crypto and an NFT, although those are great as well, because you can incorporate the technology into different systems and processes, how your business works, in order to take advantage of some of the benefits of a blockchain. For example, let's start with some things that you might already know, like a cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies are a virtual currency, which were initially designed to solve the double spending problem with virtual money. And the first idea for a blockchain was actually theorized around the 90s, but then in 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto, an anonymous creator that we still don't know the name of, published a white paper which outlined how to practically build a blockchain. So it was back in 2008 that the first blockchain was created, the Bitcoin blockchain. And after that came more blockchains, such as the Ethereum blockchain, which was built out in 2015, and we'll get more into that one, as well as more cryptocurrencies than just Bitcoin. So now there are tons of cryptocurrencies out there, perhaps some of you have invested in some cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ether or ADA or Dogecoin, many currencies out there. And beyond cryptocurrencies, many of you are probably also familiar with NFTs, non-fungible tokens. These are getting a lot more mainstream and media coverage, a lot of hype because a lot of celebrities are getting behind these. NFTs are a way that you can represent an asset in a virtual way. So we'll get more into that as well later tonight. But beyond just the hype in the media, blockchain has a lot of practical reasons of why it's getting more attention in the media and also at different companies, especially in the financial sector. Because with a blockchain, you can get advantages such as improving security and making your process more transparent, being able to track a process or a system or process transactions and track what has happened in a more transparent way where it's harder for information to get lost. Also, you can perform transactions that you can trust. For example, if I want to make a purchase at a store online, instead of having to go through my bank and to trust the store and trust my bank to be able to send the funds over to purchase the product, if I make the product over the blockchain, or if I make the product over a website that uses decentralized technology, then I don't have to trust my bank. I don't have to trust the company. I just have to trust the blockchain, which stores the whole process for me. So as long as there is a trust in that blockchain where I can send the cryptocurrency to the blockchain, and then the blockchain will send that cryptocurrency to the store, then the store will send the blockchain the product, and the blockchain will send me the product. So the middleman in this case is not the bank or the store or any other trusted third party, but it's the blockchain itself. And therefore, you can perform transactions much faster, or you can perform different processes much faster because you can store more than just transactions on the blockchain. And you can trust that it will happen because the blockchain cannot be changed. If there is a guarantee that something will happen on the blockchain, if there's a guarantee that I will receive my product on the blockchain, you can trust that the blockchain will give you what it guarantees because of the way it's set up, the way the code behind the blockchain is set up. So that's just one example of how you can use the blockchain to make a secure and trusted purchase quickly and transparently. As well, blockchain is crossing different industries, like not just finance or transactions, but also entertainment industries like games. You can incorporate cryptocurrencies and NFTs into your games. You can also use blockchain technology in games or entertainment. For example, you could store every single action that a player takes in a game on the blockchain. As well, blockchain is used in web applications. You can build a website that can communicate with the blockchain to, again, perform different actions, store users that are registering to your website, or to allow users to pay with crypto, and much more. And these are known as dApps, or decentralized apps, which some of you may have heard of. As well, blockchain is part of Web 3.0, which is a new way that the internet or the web is going to work. Currently, we are in the phase of the internet known as Web 2.0. Back in the 80s began Web 1.0, where you had static web pages and you had few users, you had few people that could make websites, very little interaction, and the web pages were static, so you would just go and you would read what was happening and then you would click off. Currently, we're in Web 2.0, which came with the advancement of social media. So there's a lot more interaction happening on the web now, and there's a lot more data being passed around. But Web 2.0, as you may predict, isn't perfect because you have few companies that are controlling a lot of the data and a lot of the power. The biggest companies like Amazon, Facebook, they're controlling a lot of the interactivity and the user base. And also they control your data, what they want to do with it, and they hold a lot of power and money. So it's hard for the small developer or the small company to get a footing in the door or to grow because these big companies have a large monopoly. So Web 3.0 aims to reduce some of that monopoly because Web 3.0 uses decentralized technology, often called blockchain technology, in order to make the web more transparent and more decentralized, meaning that there are fewer of these monopolized companies that control a lot of the data. Instead, the data can be more decentralized and stored on the blockchain. And you have more opportunity as the small programmer or the small business. As well, blockchain is being invested in by many companies, especially financial companies currently, because of the benefits they provide, like saving money. Often a company will only invest in a technology if it's going to save them money or time. And because the blockchain does save the different processes, business processes and systems, time and money, companies are investing in using blockchain technology, whether it's in their current system or in a new system that they are incorporating or developing. And you've probably heard of blockchain being used for transactions. This is typically one of the first use cases that people think of, being able to use a cryptocurrency to make a purchase. But the power of the blockchain does go beyond that. It can, and it has, intersected with more industries, like we mentioned, entertainment, from games to music to web applications, how you build a website, a store, and other companies. Therefore, blockchain is called the future of the internet because it's allowing to have this more transparent and this faster web that incorporates this technology. And also because with blockchain technology, you reduce the number of hacks that happen on websites. As you may know, hacking is quite prevalent these days on the web. It's very easy to get hacked, to have your email leaked and more, identity theft. And so with Web 3.0, because you have more secure systems with blockchain, they're not perfect, but they are harder to hack than traditional websites. That's also why blockchain is called the future of the internet. Another reason to learn blockchain is just to make better investments. Perhaps some of you are investors who have bought some crypto, maybe some NFTs. And so by learning about how the blockchain ecosystem works, how it's being incorporated in different industries, and how it can be programmed, how you can program some projects for the blockchain, you can make better investments yourselves and learn how to avoid scams and fraud. And there are good job prospects in the blockchain space because lots of companies are looking to incorporate this technology because perhaps their competitors already have, or because they can see that it is going to save them time, or they have a problem that needs to be fixed, like perhaps it's a shipment tracking system where it's hard to keep track of data and there's miscommunication and information gets lost throughout the process. Well, with blockchain, you can store the whole process and every single action that happens on the blockchain. So it's much harder to lose data or to break the system. You can see exactly where a shipment got lost or where something went wrong with whatever system you have. So if a company is struggling or they have some kind of gap that's losing them money, like a gap where they often have miscommunication in the system, well, then they can use blockchain technology to fix that problem if it's possible, such as to keep track of their system. So that's why there are good job prospects. Also because there are few blockchain programmers out there because it is a relatively new field. So it's a great place to be in because there is high demand, but there are few developers who are experts so far, but more and more are learning. All right, next up, we're going to discuss two blockchains specifically, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin, as we mentioned a bit earlier, was the first blockchain created in 2008. And it was the first blockchain. If you're going to remember anything about what is a blockchain, you can remember one thing. The number one property of the blockchain, although there are many different properties, is that a blockchain establishes trust between parties without intermediaries. The intermediary is the blockchain itself. Let's give a practical example. Let's say I wanted to buy a house from you. Well, I couldn't just buy it directly from you. I would have to go through my bank. I'd have to go through my real estate agent, my lawyer, my notary, and perhaps a mortgage broker, and specifically the bank. The bank would be the main third party that you and I would trust to perform the transaction. Because if I just gave you a bunch of cash, I could do it, but there's less trust involved because it could be fraudulent cash. So typically the bank will be the third party. I would give my money to the bank would give it to you, then you would give the bank the house, and then the bank would give it to me, with lawyers involved as well. That's how it typically works. With a blockchain, you wouldn't have to rely on the bank. You wouldn't have to rely on the bank fees and going through all the lawyers to establish that trust with that huge transaction. You could just put your trust in the blockchain. So you could send your money for the purchase to the blockchain. The blockchain would send the money to you, whoever owns the house. Then the owner of the house would send the blockchain the rights to the house. And then the blockchain would send the rights to the house to you. So the whole process would be done through the blockchain, but directly from me to you, from the owner of the house to the purchaser. It would be done directly with just the blockchain as the intermediary and no others. And this way, the purchase can be done faster, can be done cheaper, and it can be done with trust, because you can trust that the blockchain will perform the transaction. You can trust that you won't lose your money, that you'll get the house. How can you trust the blockchain, you might wonder? Well, because the blockchain is going to do it all on an automated system. The blockchain has code which you cannot change, and once the code is on the blockchain, it cannot be changed. So if there is code on the blockchain that says anyone who buys the house will get the house, then you can trust that the code will work. You can trust that if you send the blockchain the money for the house, you'll get the house. You can trust in this automated process that lives on the blockchain. So what are these automated processes that are happening? Well, these are called smart contracts, which we'll get into later. If you want to visualize a blockchain, you can just visualize a chain of blocks, just like the name says. You have a bunch of blocks that are connected with a chain, and you cannot break the chain. This is what makes the blockchain so trustworthy, is because you cannot break it. Once you put something onto the blockchain, you can't take it back and you can't change it. So all of these blocks contain data. They can contain smart contracts or history about transactions that happened. All of these blocks store what happened on the blockchain. What can you do on the blockchain? And so once you put something onto the blockchain, like I'm going to sell my house if anyone sends me enough crypto for it, you can't take that back. You could stop it if you wanted to decide not to actually sell the house, but you can't actually change what you've put onto the blockchain. So that's why it's trustworthy. If I have put up a contract that I will sell my house on the blockchain, then it all happens automatically. As soon as the funds are sent to the blockchain, the house will be sent back. And all you have to do is look at the code to verify that is what's going to happen, because you can see the code on the blockchain. So you see exactly, if I send my funds, will I get the house? You can see the code on the blockchain. So in technical jargon, a blockchain is called a time-stamped series of immutable transactions. What this means is everything is time-stamped, so you know exactly when something happened. If I tell a company, I sent you crypto, where is my product? Well, the company can check, did you actually send the crypto at the time you said you did to the company? So everything can be verified. And it's a series of immutable transactions, immutable meaning you cannot change them and you can't break the chain. Everything gets added one after the other. So the blockchain is one long chain of what happened, what can happen, what contracts exist, what transactions happened. And so you cannot break the chain once you've put something on. Transactions mean that something has been added to the blockchain. This could be an actual transaction of money, a purchase, or it could be a smart contract that you put on the blockchain, or it could be a new NFT that you want to create that you put to live on the blockchain. Now, what manages the blockchain? Well, there's no central entity or a company that owns the blockchain. The blockchain manages itself. So it's managed by a cluster of computers around the world that use their processing power to keep the blockchain running. So if you wanted to, you could actually connect your computer to the blockchain and be part of that network all around the world that is maintaining the blockchain. Because at the end of the day, a blockchain, you can visualize it as a chain of blocks, but that's just a visual metaphor. In reality, it's all just code. So it's computer code, and computers around the world are maintaining the network. As we mentioned, the first blockchain was the Bitcoin blockchain. We still don't know who exactly published the white paper. They published it under a pseudonym, Satoshi Nakamoto. And you can actually read the white paper online if you're interested about the outline for the first blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain, which still exists. But the Bitcoin blockchain wasn't perfect. None of the blockchains are. The Bitcoin blockchain was the first, but there have been many blockchains created since then. For example, the Ethereum blockchain, which was created in 2015. The Ethereum blockchain was meant to improve on the Bitcoin blockchain, although you can still use the Bitcoin blockchain perfectly fine. But with Bitcoin, you can't do certain things. So Ethereum was created specifically to advance on some of what the Bitcoin blockchain could do. So with Ethereum, you can do more. For example, you can build smart contracts and build decentralized apps. So there are new features built on the Bitcoin blockchain, but you can do more with Ethereum. Ethereum was specifically created to allow developers or programmers to build decentralized software. So you can take software like a website or some software that's running your business or a game, and you can take that software and inject it with blockchain technology or decentralized technology. So one example is you can have a website where you have a store and you're selling vegetables. You might have your regular store and you ship your customers the vegetables. So that would be just a website, a piece of software. But if you incorporate blockchain technology, now you have a lot more available that you can do. For example, a simple example is your customers can now pay you in crypto over the website. So instead of paying with USD and their credit card, they could pay you with crypto for the vegetables, and then you would send them the vegetables. Another example is you could automate your whole process. So as soon as someone sends some crypto, if there are enough vegetables, you can send them the vegetables immediately, and you can record all of that on the blockchain. So this will give your customers more trust because they can check on the blockchain. I sent my crypto to the store. Did the store send me the vegetables back? So your customers can see on the blockchain what happened on the website, what transactions happened. So your customers can feel more secure because they can see, okay, I sent the crypto and it says my vegetables are being sent now. So that's another example of how you can take a regular piece of software and incorporate blockchain technology. Another thing you could do is you could use blockchain to store the whole shipment. So as the vegetables are being sent out to the customer, you can store exactly what's happening at each step of the way by all of the other companies involved in that process, the shipping company and the packaging company, the delivery company. All of that can be tracked step by step on the blockchain. So if there's ever a problem, like your shipment got lost, it can be immediately recorded, and there can be that fast communication if everything is recorded on the blockchain. So that is just one example of what you can do with the Ethereum blockchain. So in our blockchain programming masterclass, we're going to be building projects like that for the Ethereum blockchain. Now, why Ethereum? Because Ethereum is the #1 blockchain for building these kinds of projects. So it is the most popular blockchain out there for building these decentralized apps or software, where you take a piece of software, like it could be an existing piece of software that your company already has, and it incorporates blockchain technology into the software, typically for a specific purpose, like you want to save money, you want to be more transparent with customers, or you want to keep track of things that have poor communication or that are hard to track. Those are just a few examples. You can also build entertainment projects, like you can incorporate blockchain into games and music. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. The financial industry especially is using blockchain technology to handle different problems and to improve security. And because it's unavoidable these days as blockchain becomes more and more popular. Next up, we're going to talk about Solidity smart contracts. So throughout our blockchain programming masterclass, we're going to build tons of smart contracts in the Solidity programming language. A smart contract is a piece of code that you write to define what you want to do on the blockchain. So if I want to manage all of my customers who are buying my vegetables, if I want to store them all, I could store them all on the blockchain using a smart contract. Another example is if I want to take payments and send vegetables out, I can write a smart contract to handle all that for me, to accept the payments and send the products out. And I can check, of course, do I have enough vegetables to send? Did they send me enough money? Was this crypto actually valid and not fraudulent? You can handle all that in a smart contract. Smart contracts live on the blockchain. So you add them to the blockchain, and once you add them, they are permanent and you cannot change them on the blockchain. That's what makes it so trustworthy. And the smart contracts are automated. So once you write the smart contract and you put it on the blockchain, everything happens automatically. Your customers no longer have to trust that you are going to fulfill their order. They just have to trust that the smart contract will fulfill the order because it has code that's going to handle whatever functionality you want to enable. Some examples are building apps for crowdfunding, for lotteries, for handling loans, building banks or other financial instruments. You can also build a smart contract to represent your own cryptocurrency or your own NFT, which is what we'll be doing in our masterclass. We're going to be building tons of other contracts as well, because you can build contracts for many different purposes. And you write these smart contracts in the Solidity programming language. So this is a coding language like JavaScript or C++ that you may have heard of. This is the #1 language to write these smart contracts. So just like you would write a book in English, you would write a smart contract in Solidity. So we're going to learn the Solidity programming language. And don't worry if you don't have any coding experience. I have a lot of students currently who had no programming experience, but they were able to follow along just fine because we'll take you from complete beginner and we'll explain different programming concepts to you. So this knowledge will actually be applicable to different programming languages, not just Solidity. So if you choose to learn a different language like JavaScript, Solidity is very similar, so you'll have a great head start there. Or if you choose to learn another programming language that's not as similar like C++, you'll still have those programming fundamentals. So it's a cross-disciplinary language. You can learn Solidity, but you're still going to learn tons of other topics as you learn Solidity that are applicable to different languages. So that is why we're covering Solidity. So you have to first learn how to code and then build the smart contracts, and we're going to do all of that together. And if you want to get started, you can already get started by coding in Solidity online at the website remix.ethereum.org. This is the official website for online coding in Solidity. So you can try that out. It's quite fun. You can try coding in Solidity and try running their smart contracts as a little teaser. And then throughout the masterclass, of course, we're going to be building tons of contracts together of different use cases, like for a bank or for storing customers or a coin, an NFT, all of that, because there are so many different use cases. Okay, next up, we're going to cover our final topic of the night, cryptocurrencies and NFTs. So just giving you a taste of what we're going to dive deep into in the masterclass. And of course, in our course, in our masterclass, we are going to code as well. So everything we talk about, we're going to also have hands-on examples. Most of the course is actually hands-on examples, so you have a big portfolio of projects at the end. So first, let's talk about what is a cryptocurrency and an NFT. So these are two topics that are very popular in the media today. I'm sure most of you have heard of cryptocurrencies and NFTs. This is where blockchain currently has most of its hype, its popularity. But again, there are tons of other use cases than just cryptocurrencies and just NFTs. But let's talk about these. First, what is a crypto? A crypto is a virtual currency secured by cryptography. That's why it's called crypto, a cryptocurrency. So it is a virtual currency and it's made more secure, harder to hack, harder to counterfeit, because it's secured by cryptography, which is a way of encrypting and keeping currency secure. So cryptocurrency was the first to solve the double spending problem, which is a problem with online money. Double spending means trying to spend the same money twice. So if I tried to buy the blockchain programming course with some USD, but then I quickly tried to spend the same virtual USD somewhere else online to buy something else like a subscription, well, that would be called double spending. So that's counterfeiting or fraudulating the money because I'm trying to spend it twice. So with USD, it's easier to double spend than it is with cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is nearly impossible to double spend because it's backed by cryptography and stored on the blockchain. If I own 100 Bitcoin and I decide to spend 1 Bitcoin, well, if I send that Bitcoin to you, the blockchain is going to record all of that. It's going to say, Alexandra had this exact Bitcoin and she sent it to you. The blockchain will store exactly where that Bitcoin went. So if I try to spend that exact Bitcoin again, well, the blockchain will prevent me from doing it. It'll say, actually, Alexandra, you can't spend that Bitcoin. You already sent it to one of your students. So that is an example of how Bitcoin and blockchain is secure and hard to hack, hard to double spend and counterfeit, and why it's trustworthy and why people trust it more than some USD that you're spending on your credit card online, because the blockchain keeps track of where the coin is at any point in time. So that is a cryptocurrency. Some examples are Bitcoin, Ether, Atom, Dogecoin, and many, many out there. You can create your own cryptocurrency if you'd like. And in fact, we will, in our masterclass, we'll show you how to build your own cryptocurrency. Because at the end of the day, all that a cryptocurrency is a smart contract. So some code that you put onto the blockchain that will live there forever. Now, another popular term is NFTs. So an NFT stands for a non-fungible token. An NFT is a token that is a collectible, unique crypto asset. So you use an NFT to represent some kind of asset. Typically, it will be a collectible. It could be something tied to a real world asset. Like you could tie it to your apartment. You could tie it to your iPhone if you wanted to, or you could just have it be completely virtual if you don't want it to represent something in the real world. For example, celebrities are using NFTs to represent their artwork or their music, or you could just build an NFT of anything like your own artwork and then have it be live on the blockchain and people can buy it and trade it. So NFTs are getting quite a lot of popularity. NFTs are just a token. So they're slightly different from a cryptocurrency. A cryptocurrency will have its own blockchain like Ether for the Ethereum blockchain or Bitcoin for the Bitcoin blockchain. So a crypto is more like money, whereas a token is more like a voucher. Crypto tokens are built on an existing blockchain and can represent assets. And then an NFT is just one type of token. So there are actually other types of tokens as well, like fungible tokens, other than just non-fungible tokens, and more as well. And you can build out different types of tokens as well. So you can build cryptocurrencies and NFTs, both of which we will do in the masterclass, but you can also build out other tokens. And all of these are just smart contracts, as we mentioned, pieces of code. So that's why you have to learn how to code, because if you want to build any of these and to really build out your own customized projects, then you have to be able to code the smart contracts for what you want to create and then put it on the blockchain. So these are just some examples of what you can code up with blockchain programming, but there's a lot more opportunity out there. All right, so that does it for the teaser of the topics that we'll cover in the masterclass. We're going to build a lot more projects and really get hands-on in the actual course. We actually have a discount running currently for those of you in our live chat. If you use the code LAPRES2022, you can actually get 25% off of the blockchain masterclass only for this week. So I encourage you all to use that coupon. Just go to lumiwealth.com and under courses, select blockchain programming. And let's talk a bit more about the actual course curriculum. Okay, let's talk about what we're going to do week by week. So here's the official webpage for our course on Lumiwealth. First up, before we get into the curriculum, a week by week breakdown, let's talk about some of the plans that we have available. There is the self-directed plan, which means you can watch historical videos already pre-recorded. So you just take our live classes and you watch them after the fact. So this plan is a little bit cheaper because it's self-directed. We also have the live classes plan. So this is where we are hosting live classes and you can ask questions throughout the whole class, after class, and everyone meets at a specific time and we teach live. You still get all the recordings as well. And as well, you get all of the source code and all of the reading information, all of the slides with the live classes plan and with the self-directed plan. As well, we have the project help / tutoring plan. So if you want help on a specific project that you want to create, then you can choose this plan to get tailored help to your custom project, typically a larger project. So here are the payments for the 3 options. Okay, we have the self-directed course, the live classes, and the project help / tutoring, 3 different options. We also have payment plans available. And don't forget to use today's coupon code, which Robert has dropped in the chat. That will give you 25% off for this week only. So for the self-directed class, you get lifetime access to the video library. So this includes every time we've done a live class for this masterclass. So if we have another round, you'll still get all of that, as well as all of the code behind the smart contracts. You can still chat to our Lumiwealth community on Discord and get instructor support. We're happy to answer any questions throughout the week of that we're currently on. As well, you can have weekly discussion hour where we all get together at a specific time and answer questions live. Then we have the live classes. So you get everything from self-directed, but you also have the live classes, which are 2 hours per week, and live Q&A, as well as future videos and code. So if you take the live classes in March, and then we do more live classes in October, you'll have access to the October ones as well. So you can watch new videos as well. You're not just limited to a specific 3-month time. As well, you can get help with personal projects, with resume and interviews, and unlimited email and chat Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can always message us and we'll be happy to help. Then we have one more plan, the project help / tutoring plan. You get everything from the previous plans, but you also get help with a custom project, including software development if needed, and video or phone sessions for Q&A. So those are the 3 options that we have available. Feel free to book a call with us, and we'd be happy to answer any questions on the phone that you might have, or ask us questions tonight as well. All right, next, let's get into the curriculum, a week-by-week breakdown. So we are going to cover crypto coins and NFTs. And if you scroll down even further, we can read the course curriculum. So week 1, we are going to introduce blockchain, solidity, and smart contracts. So similar to what we did tonight, but on a more in-depth scale because each course day is 2 hours per week. We're going to introduce everyone and introduce the blockchain, Solidity, and smart contracts, and we'll start writing our first Solidity code. This is where most of the theory will take place, and then throughout the rest of the weeks, we get very hands-on. So week 2, we dive into Solidity fundamentals. So even if you have no coding experience, no blockchain experience, you can join this course because we're going to teach you fundamental programming topics in Solidity. For example, variables and arrays. These are very fundamental to just being a programmer in general. So whether you want to be a blockchain programmer or an app developer, you need to know variables, arrays, mappings, conditionals. So these are all very applicable to other programming languages, but we're going to learn it all specifically in Solidity for smart contracts. In week 3, we'll get into building some smart contracts like for data storage, for splitting profits, and for limiting addresses and more. So we'll get into building out some small examples of smart contracts. Then we are going to build more complex contracts as the weeks go on. So we'll start off very simple and then build upon our knowledge with every week. For example, we'll build contracts with inheritance and modifiers, as well as abstract contracts, a bank, contracts and libraries, and contracts with more limits like a time transaction limit. So we'll get exposed to different use cases of smart contracts because there are many use cases. You can build a smart contract for a coin, an NFT, a bank, and much, much more. So we'll get exposed to different things that you can do with contracts and different ways you can modify contracts to build specifically what you want to get done. In week 6, we'll get into building out a coin and an NFT. So we are going to build out a cryptocurrency and then as well a crypto token, specifically an NFT token. As well, we'll learn how to deploy the token, so actually putting it onto a blockchain and testing out the MetaMask digital wallet. These are very popular tools like MetaMask and Solidity with our online editor. We're using the most popular and in-demand tools for blockchain developers today. For example, in week 8, we get into Truffle and Ganache, 2 very popular tools. We're going to build a smart contract with Truffle, which is an offline tool, so it's a bit more advanced, and we'll learn how to deploy the smart contract. So Truffle is specifically built for building out decentralized software like a dApp and for larger projects. So in week 8, we're going to get started with those larger projects, and then we'll tell you where to go from here. So how you can build out more large projects with more popular tools like Truffle, Hardhat, and incorporating MetaMask, Ganache, and more. These are all very popular tools for blockchain programmers. So this is our curriculum. We have several upcoming live classes. We have one beginning on March 31st, going for 8 weeks with 1 week of a holiday break. So in total, about 9. And there will be some optional homework each week that you can also take part in to advance your knowledge further. We meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern or 5 p.m. Pacific, live over Zoom. So that is the next time the course starts, and registration ends on March 17th. So make sure to register by that time. And also we have a coupon that's lasting for this week only, not this one, but actually one that gives you 25% off. LA Prez 22, just check out the chat for the coupon. And I also have put it here at the end of our slides, LA Prez 2022 or 22 actually, without the 20. So let me just remove that. All right, so I'll remove this later. It's stalling for now. LA Prez 22, use that coupon for 25% off. We also have another course starting on June 9th. So that is another option if you cannot make the March 31st start date. And as we mentioned, it is a very hands-on course. We're building tons of projects that you can put on GitHub in your portfolio, like different smart contracts, as well as a crypto coin and an NFT that you can put on the blockchain. And you can show, here are my projects that actually live already on the blockchain. So feel free to read more on this website and read some testimonials from our previous students from other courses. And now, if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'd be happy to help. Okay, let's see. If I sign up and say I got Lumiwealth degree in writing smart contracts, will people recognize it like, yep, we want them on our team? Robert says you will get a certificate and lots of projects that you can add to your resume. Rob, would you like to speak more on that?
Yeah, sure, I can elaborate on that. So with any of the classes that you take at Lumiwealth, you'll get a certificate. We'll help you with your resume if you need some help with that, and we'll help introduce you to some people, potentially get a job. But then also what I think is one of the most important things is that you're going to have this hands-on experience with Alexandra, and you're going to put that into your resume or portfolio and show them, look at what I've actually done, right? I think that's the most important thing for an employer. I've hired probably 200 software engineers in my lifetime, in my career. And it's one thing to have something on a resume. It's a whole other story when they have something that they've built and created. I think that's probably the most powerful thing they can show to an employer. So you're going to get a lot of that coming from this class because it is very hands-on, and we are going to be doing quite a few different projects.
Yes, and also in the blockchain space and just the programming space in general, it's less about certificates, but more about, like what Rob said, number one, the projects, but also number two, if you can pass a coding interview or a coding test. So they will give you a challenge, like, for example, build out a smart contract that can handle tracking our process, and you have to do A, B, C, D, E. And if you can solve the challenge either live at the interview, or it'll be a take-home challenge that you just complete on your own. And if you can solve it to their requirements, if you can build what they want you to build and they say, yep, this passes the test, then that also plays a large role in hiring. Great question. And everyone, feel free to add more questions into the chat. We will be happy to stay and help answer any questions now. Otherwise, we have covered everything we need for the night. And you can also email us if you have any questions, or message us on Discord and book a call with us as well. Jose is asking if there's any financing available. Rob, I believe you may know more about this.
Yeah, we do have the 3-month and 5-month payment plans, right? So if you need to have longer payment plans than that, we can also discuss that if that's needed. But right out of the box, we have 3- and 5-month payment plans that we can do for you. So you don't feel like you have to pay all this stuff up front. And again, if that's still a little difficult, feel free to contact us, book a call, and we could actually potentially work out something else even on top of that.
And perhaps if you have a company that has money for professional development, they can cover some of this cost as well.
Yeah, a lot of our students actually, they have their companies pay for all these things. We've had quite a few students do that, where you go to your company and say, I want to learn blockchain, and a lot of them will want to have more educated students or more educated employees, so the company will pay for this many times as well.
Yes, and Rob is asking how much is the class. So as mentioned, we do have a 25% coupon code that you can use now, but regular price is $1,500 USD for self-directed, $3,500 for live classes, and $5,300 for the project help or tutoring.
Cool. So there's a question here for Jose, and I think you could also speak to this as well, Alexandra, for a specific class. But we have a lot of people that get hired at banks. I know some people recently got hired at Bank of America. Some people got hired at Goldman Sachs. So we definitely have a lot of our students getting hired at financial institutions. That's probably the main thing where people get hired. But of course, for a class like this, blockchain is so versatile. You can use it in many different industries, finance being the obvious one. But there's actually still a lot of applications in healthcare and other industries as well. So I think, Alexandra, you could probably speak to that even better, but I can tell you a lot of our students do get hired at financial institutions.
Yes, definitely finance. I know there's a lot of investment as well being done in different companies that want to incorporate blockchain technology and startups. Like, for example, many game companies that want to build games that use blockchain technology. There's a lot of investment in the field.
Absolutely.
And we're happy to provide this masterclass because I know it can be hard to find something like this, which is so new at a university. So really something like an online course or a live online course is the only thing that you can find to teach you something like blockchain. And we're happy to give you all this streamlined curriculum where you don't have to go searching through the web, how to build this, how to build that. Am I learning the correct thing? Is this tool even relevant? We're going to teach you exactly what you need to know to get hired and to be relevant and to actually use relevant tools. And
Awesome.
also Jose.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Alexandra.
Jose is asking what kind of salary is anticipated. Rob, I believe you've seen a lot of different job postings.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to search glassdoor.com, you'll see a bunch of salaries in there. Last I heard, blockchain developers are going for somewhere around 130K. That's someone obviously with a little bit more experience. It's not like a beginner, right? But yeah, last time I saw it was around 130, 150K for a blockchain developer. I don't know if you've seen different figures, Alexandra, but it also depends on where you're located and with what company and all that. There's a lot of details around that.
Yes, it can be variable. It depends on where you live, but there is definitely a lot of investing and a lot of leverage that you can have because few programmers can program blockchain stuff. So it's more specialized.
Absolutely. And Zach, I hope I can call you Zach as a short form. 80K is like a starting salary for this, right? Like, for me, when I started off coding, a long time ago, that was my starting salary, right? Someone who'd be more advanced in this would be definitely like mid 100s kind of thing, or more. I've seen some companies actually pay like a lot of money for blockchain developers. Those are usually people that like really know their stuff. I've seen 250K plus, but that's like you got to really know your stuff for that.
Yes, and if you apply yourself, you can get there by the end of 8 weeks. It depends on how much effort you put each week into learning how to code if you don't know how to code and trying out these projects yourself. Okay, Venkat is asking, is there any other languages like Solidity, Solana, etc.? Solidity, in terms of how it looks and how you code it, is very similar to JavaScript. So that would also be a big benefit. If you know JavaScript, it will help you with Solidity. Also because JavaScript is very useful for building websites. So if you want to build a website with decentralized technology, you have to know JavaScript for the website and then Solidity for the blockchain part, and then use the two together. So if you're looking for a similar language, definitely JavaScript to Solidity, but there are other languages out there for different blockchains as well. Depends on what blockchain you're developing for. Ethereum being the most popular blockchain to develop for. So that's why we chose Solidity. It's the #1 in demand language for becoming a blockchain programmer.
I think another part of that too, Alexandra, is is asking about Solana, right? Solana, can also be programmed using Solidity, to my knowledge, right? So you can use Solidity to actually be on other blockchains, not just Ethereum, right?
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Right. One other thing I want to mention as well, for any of you that are wondering, can I get this all done in 8 weeks or whatever, is that you can retake the live classes. So if you go through this one live class and something happens, you can't keep pace or whatever, you can retake the class as many times as you like. right? So we do have the ability to retake live classes.
Yes, and you will get access to all of the previous videos and the future videos. So this course is quite unique where you don't just get the current cohort, so you don't just get the content for March 31st and after, but also everything that we've done before and in the future as well. So all of the cohorts.
Then Jose asked, so after Lumiwealth, what else would you recommend to advance? I mean, I think I take that if you want to speak on this as well, Alexandra. But we do have quite a few different courses, so you can take quite a few different courses to help out and build your knowledge. We also do help, and I know there's a question on this a little further down, but we do help with building out your resume and help introducing you to recruiters and things like that as well. So we do help you with job placement. Of course, we can't guarantee anything. It's really up to you with the amount of work that you decide to put in, but we will definitely help you out to get you, get your resume up to snuff, get you having some good projects to put on your resume in your portfolio, and also to introduce you to any kind of companies that may want to hire you, right? So we do help you along with all that kind of stuff as well.
Yes, and we will also teach you how you can search for more and build more projects on your own so you can become independent after the 8 weeks. We'll teach you how to debug, how to find projects, how to learn more on your own. So beyond week 8, I would recommend building larger projects with tools like Truffle and Hardhat, which are specifically for managing larger projects. And we can give you project ideas and send you on your way to be able to build out these larger projects to put on your portfolio. And also we are planning to have as well a JavaScript course, which will help you become the full stack blockchain developer, where you have the blockchain side covered in this course. But then we'd recommend, if you want to build decentralized apps, which are very popular, then learning how to build that app side. So again, the JavaScript part for the website, and then the Solidity part for the blockchain. So that's another place that you could go after week 8. Depends on what industry you want to specialize for.
Right, awesome. Thanks, Alexandra. There's also a question. So Zach asks, why is it taking so long for Bitcoin to get into NFT space? I think I could take that. Bitcoin will never be in the NFT space. It is not possible using their technology. You can get into NFT space using Ethereum or Solana or something like Cardano. I'm not sure if Cardano is specifically in it right now, but it's possible using their technology. Bitcoin just is not built to do this kind of thing. You cannot program things on Bitcoin. It is simply a store of value, and that's it, right? There's differences between these coins, right? This is why Ethereum has been doing a lot better recently, and Solana has been doing a lot better than Bitcoin, right? There's a good reason behind that. It's just better tech.
Mm-hmm. Great question.
Then there's also a question of, do we help with job placement? I think we covered that, right? Hopefully that answered your question. Zach says networking is priceless. Yeah, absolutely. You get a lot of chance to network with other students in this class. In fact, actually a lot of our students end up working together on projects after this, right? So you get to know a lot of people. It's a live class. So you get to meet other people and speak with them and see them every week, right? So it really does help with all this sort of thing of building this relationship. And also you get to be part of our community on Discord, where we have live chats once a week. There's a lot of actual chat in terms of like typing things out. So there's a lot of really good networking they do get from this. Absolutely. Well, thanks for bringing that up, Zach. All right, and then we also have the question here from Venkat, mobile apps, any idea? Sorry, I don't know what exactly you mean by that, Venkat. Do you have an idea what that might mean, Alexandra?
Maybe asking if you can incorporate blockchain technology with mobile apps, which yes, you can. It would just be very similar to how you would do a decentralized website.
Perfect. Yeah, so the same way that you integrate JavaScript with the blockchain, you can integrate something like Swift with a blockchain, right? Like Swift being iOS development. Cool. Sounds very interesting, actually. Zach has some more questions here. So when I was a child playing with HTML copy, pasting, 90% of my code will have the ability to do that again. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's code, right? You know, if you're rewriting code from scratch, I think you're doing something wrong. That's the beauty. That's the beautiful part of it, is they could reuse a lot of code, right? But they all held Bitcoin's hand. When Bitcoin goes up, they go up, and when Bitcoin goes down, they all go down. Yeah, they're definitely correlated. Crypto, the whole market in general, is very correlated. But you start to see things that are breaking off for the pack, right? Like, I mean, Solana's done significantly better than most of the large big coins recently, and that's a lot because of this NFT sort of thing, where they have the ability to do things like write code and Solidity or whatnot, where you can actually like build out smart contracts. But you also have you know, much lower gas fees than Ethereum, for example, right? Which is why you're seeing Solana doing so well. So yeah, so they all are correlated, but there are things that break out from the pack. And I think that's one of the advantages of taking a course like this. So you start to understand the details of that, right? I think there's a lot of value in that, even if you'll never build a smart contract in your life. I think just understanding how this stuff works will actually help you be a much better crypto investor in general. I know it's helped me quite a bit, you know, so. Cool. Zach asks, thoughts on Tether? Is that a bubble with the ability to crash the market? What do you think, Alexandra?
Let's see. Well, Tether was designed specifically to be the same price as the US dollar. Is that a bubble? Let's see, with the ability to crash the market. I haven't been following Tether exactly, to be honest, so I don't know exactly how it's going to affect the market right now.
I know that there's something that came out. There's an article on Bloomberg recently where Tether apparently didn't have the money to actually back its crypto transactions. I thought Tether blew up, but apparently it's still around. So if it can handle that, I think it can handle a lot of things, right? I don't think Tether is going to crash the market. And there's a lot of other things out there. There's USDT, USDC. There's, you know, so many other stable coins they could use. So you're not limited to only one. I do not think it'll crash the market personally. It's my opinion. Who knows, right? But that's my thoughts. So there's another question here. I think this is probably better for you to answer, Alexandra. In general, do you address cybersecurity with reference to blockchain?
You definitely have to keep cybersecurity in mind when you're working with any kind of money or crypto, especially if you're going to be handling large amounts of it. But in general, if you have a website or software that's using decentralized technology, it's going to help you reduce hacks, because it's harder to hack a blockchain than it is just a regular system or a regular software. Of course, it's not perfect, but there's definitely help in that sense with cybersecurity, just if you do use decentralized technology.
There's another question here too, Alexandra. I'm not sure if you're seeing this in the Q&A section, right? There's ones in chat, there's ones in Q&A.
Oh, yes.
And Vienna asks, I think we've addressed these two by Zach, but Vienna asks, sorry I missed the beginning. Will this class need a lot of coding or blockchain knowledge?
No, you don't need any coding or blockchain knowledge to take the course. In our current cohort, most of the students had no experience whatsoever, and they're following along. So no, you don't need any previous experience.
I saw a funny comment. Zach says he's going to try to win the class fee tonight on coin poker. Good luck. I mean, I think you'd make a lot more money learning how to code blockchain and just building this stuff for people. It's incredible how much people are willing to pay for this sort of stuff. Even if you don't get a job, just go on like Upwork or something like that. You can find a ton of projects where you make quite a bit per hour doing this sort of thing. You know?
Yeah, and lots of these companies have funding specifically for this, so they are definitely hiring.
Absolutely. Cool, awesome. Any other questions, guys? Hope everyone is having a happy Valentine's Day, by the way. All right, I feel like we've had a lot of really good questions today. Very active group. It's awesome.
Yes, we hope to see you all in the actual masterclass. 8 weeks of hardcore work if you want to get hired after. And I want everyone to use the coupon code to get 25% off. Thanks, Robert.
Awesome. Yeah, class starts soon in 6 weeks from now. I could tell you guys, for me, actually even taking this class has been very, very cool. You guys are definitely going to be getting some emails about some Lumiwealth tokens and some Lumiwealth NFTs coming out sometime soon. Definitely going through this class. I feel like I'm getting a lot of cool ideas. So absolutely.
Yes, the class starts on March 31st.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. And again, if you guys sign up within the next week, you get 25% off because of the present day. Yeah, there you go. That posted that again by Alexandra. Use that code LAPRES 2022. And basically, if you sign up by February 31st, or sorry, February 21st, 25% off if you sign up by Feb 21st. And this is the President's Day sale. They'll save you that 25%. All right. Cool, awesome. I think that's probably it. Yeah, so class starts in March. You sign up anytime before that. Yeah, you can sign up before that. And again, if you want to save that 25%, make sure that you sign up by February 21st by President's Day, so you get that 25% off. Cool. Awesome. Any other questions, guys? You too, Zach. I hope you have a great evening as well. Thanks, Jose. Thanks, guys. And thank you, Alexandra. This is fantastic.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Rob.
All right, guys. I think that's probably it, unless anyone else has any other questions. If you do, you can message us through emails. You can message us through Discord. There's carrier pigeons if you guys want to try to do that. But we'll answer in any way possible. They could get back to us and answer emails, text us back, Discord. We listen to all of the above. Cool. Smoke signals. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Hope you have a good night. Thank you very much. And thanks, Alexandra. This is great. Absolutely fantastic presentation.
Thank you as well, everyone. Good night.